What is up, my Nova Kingdom? It is Nova King back again, and today we're back with another video. We're back with another top 10 list. Now, I've done one of these before. This is the second time we're doing this on the channel. You know, it's still a pretty new series we got going on in the Nova Kingdom, so let me know if you guys like this kind of video. Like the video if you do enjoy it, and let me know something in the comments. I always like to hear from you guys. So, today in our top 10 list, we have, we are doing the top 10 weapons and armor in anime. Now this is kind of a harder list for me because like I watch a lot of Dragon Ball and Naruto, and there's not a super lot of like iconic weapons. It's more just guys punching each other in the face really hard, so with their fists. So I struggled a little bit at first with this list when I was trying to find weapons. I kind of had to browse, and I had to look around. I had to dig pretty deep to get a good sound list going on here. But we'll see. But we got something going on, so we'll take a look at this list and see what comes of it. So at number 10, Coco, no, you can't come in. No, you can't. That's my cat scratching at the door. I don't know if you hear that. Coco, you're not coming in. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry if you hear my cat scratching at my door. So at number 10, as I was rudely interrupted, we have. We actually do have something from Dragon Ball. I was just talking about there's not a lot of weapons in Dragon Ball, which there isn't, but we do have a weapon, the Power Pole. Now, I do put the Power Pole at number 10, pretty, lowest on the list, because, yeah, it's cool, and I think the biggest reason why it's on the list is because of its extending ability. I think that's super overpowered for a weapon, especially like a pole type staff type weapon. The fact that the Power Pole can literally like extend to the moon, like back in Dragon Ball, is ridiculous. And I always thought it was kind of weird that Goku kind of never used it again after, when we got into Z and Super. I think it'd be pretty cool to get some like staff kind of combat going on with in Dragon Ball with Goku. I think that would have been pretty cool to look at. And yeah, I don't know. I think the Power Pole is just kind of a fun, easy to utilize weapon because of its extending purposes. But other than that, there's nothing really too special about the Power Pole. But it does hold a special place as a Dragon Ball fan for me. So that's how it sneaks in to our list at number 10. So at number 9, we have we have a set of armor. I guess I'm gonna call it an armor. It's more of a mech, I guess. But we have the Levantine armor mech suit from Full Metal Panic. Now, I don't know if you guys know what Full Metal Panic is. It's a great show. It's in my top 10 favorite anime of all time. It's amazing. It's one of my favorites. That might spoil another top 10. You never know. You might get my anime list. But Full Metal Panic is one of my favorites of all time, and I love it. It's just there's so much. They do such a good job of like storytelling and just have intense drama. It's a really cool action-packed show that had me on the edge of my seat. And towards the end of the show, our main boy Sosuke ends up getting this new mech suit called the Levantine, and I just love the way the Levantine looks. It's just like the red, the white, and the gold. Like red's my favorite color. Like I love the color scheme, and colors are a big thing for me. Love the color scheme of the Levantine. He's got like the little like blonde hair tassel thingy out of the back of his head. That's really cool too. He's got like a giant like machine gun cannon thing that he can then put an extra barrel on top for like a super cannon. This man was literally murking behemoth giant like mech suits like they were nothing. He was just like one-shotting all of them. Like my boy was like overpowered in this suit. It was ridiculous, and it's got a lot of story significance too because it kind of brings back kind of a mech that we had once seen before in a sense. So it has some story importance too that was really cool to see. But if you know what I'm talking about, if you've seen the show, props to you because you should watch the show. If you haven't already, you should watch that. What are you doing here for? Click off the video, come back, go watch Full Metal Panic first, but then come back, of course. So, so yeah, we're gonna put Levantine, the mech suit, at number 9 just because I love Full Metal Panic and I love that mech suit towards the end of the show. So at number 8 we have something that a lot of you probably were expecting from an anime weapons and armor list, because now we have the goddess of anime armor and weapons, Urza, and her Heaven's Wheel armor. And there's a lot of armor and weapons you could pick from when it comes to Urza Scarlet from Fairy Tail, but this is just one of the coolest. It looks like her god tier type armor. You know what I'm saying? Like there's just something about this armor when we first saw it that just like blew us back. She has like total control of like swords and like stuff without having to like wield them. She can just throw swords around and just summon a bunch of them. Like I know there was the one time in the show. It's been a long time since I've watched Fairy Tail. Forgive me. I gotta actually pick up and watch that again this summer. But she's like summoned like hundreds of swords to do crazy stuff with. Like she can summon so many like swords just to throw at people. It's ridiculous. And the armor just looks really pretty and just again just looks godly. It just looks like really like her final kind of set of armor. You know, I don't know. She's got a lot of other cool armor and weapons too, don't get me wrong, but if I had to pick one, I love the Heaven's Wheel armor. It's just super cool, and I think speaks a lot to Urza and her abilities in general with being able to summon so many swords and stuff like that. So we've got that for number 8. And at number 7, we have my good old boy Issei Hyodo from High School DxD. We got the sacred gear up in this piece. All right, we got the booster gear. All right. Now, I don't know if you guys watch High School DxD. If you haven't, you should watch that too. It's some fine quality, some fine quality. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. It's just really cool. It is kind of a fan service anime, but it also has a lot of really cool action in it. And the main character's he has like this red gauntlet thing, the sacred gear, and it literally kind of houses the spirit of a red dragon, which I think is just amazing because I love red and I love dragons. I always loved kind of the concept of having the spirit of this dragon inside this gauntlet and everything like that. That kind of lived in the main character, and this like gauntlet thing is literally able to just keep boosting one's own power. As long as you have time to keep boosting it, you can just keep boosting the power this gauntlet can output. It's just ridiculous. You can just keep adding more multipliers onto it and just keep getting stronger. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty overpowered when you think about it for a main character in a fan service anime, but it's pretty impressive. Not to mention the godly technique, the move bestowed upon us by the gods themselves. The one and the only dress break, if you know what I'm saying.
Here's my special move! Time to get naked!
Enough said. You know, enough said. I don't know what else to tell you. Dress break is just the coolest move ever. Okay, so with that out of the way, we're going to number 6. Number 6 is kind of an offshoot. So I told you I was having a hard time making this list, and I wasn't kidding. We have anything from DMC, Devil May Cry. Now hear me out. They have a Devil May Cry anime, so I'm going to use that as a loophole. Because like I said, I had a hard time finding enough like weapons and armor to put in this list. I didn't want to keep reusing stuff from the same show. So we're going to go... DMC has some cool weapons, like Devil Sword Dante from... Devil May Cry 5 is really cool. Anything from Devil May Cry 5 is really cool. You've got the Cerberus like nunchucks that like turn into like 3 different weapons, like a fiery bow staff. It's just ridiculous. You've got like Nero, who has a sword that literally revs like an engine. It's just ridiculous. Like the weapons in that game are just crazy and off the wall, and I love it to death. Like there's just so many cool concepts. Sky just texted me. I don't know what this man's problem is. But there's a lot of really cool weapons in all of DMC, especially DMC 5. So I'm just going to use this as a loophole to fill in number 6, just so we can get on to the rest of the list. I promise everything else is anime. I promise. I swear. Everything else is anime strictly. So at number 5, we have the Dragon Slayer from Berserk. I've never watched Berserk personally. The only like really heavy gore show I've ever watched is Hellsing Ultimate, which is a really good show too. So I'm not super used to the really gory kind of graphic shows. They don't bother me by any extent. I mean, they probably do a little bit, but I wouldn't be opposed to watching them. But I just never have gotten around to watching Berserk. But I know a little bit about it, and I know what the Dragon Slayer is. It's I feel like anybody knows what that is if you know anime. Like, it's just ridiculous. It is a giant sword that was literally crafted to slay a dragon. This thing was just ridiculous. It was so heavy and just so ridiculous that no one else could wield it. They thought the guy that made it was crazy. They're like, dude, what's your problem? That is not something so like a person can wield. And then Guts walks in. He's like, oh, look at that, yoink, and just like starts swinging around like it's nothing. So yeah, it's, you know, only the one and the only god Guts could do it apparently. But the Dragon Slayer is just a crazy weapon, and Guts killed so many demons with it that it literally has absorbed all this malice and all this evil energy into the blade through like all this blood that it's like spewed from like demons and monsters. That it literally kills things and can injure things on an astrophysical level. You know, like it's way better at slaying demons and things that are not of this world. It's just crazy. So yeah, that's how that makes that onto the list. And so we're going to go to number 4 now. Number 4 being an entry from one of my other favorite animes, Inuyasha, the Banryu, or the direct translation to that, the Barbaric Dragon, which is like the coolest name for a weapon ever. That's a super cool name. But yeah, so we have Banryu, and basically it's just this big like halberd type giant sword that kind of contends with the main character's weapon, with the main character Inuyasha and his Tetsaiga, another giant sword. It's a pretty crazy weapon. Like it's kind of on that same level, and it just has all these crazy demonic powers along with it. Like it has like dragon thunder, where like the guy can literally use the sword to summon lightning from the skies. He's killed like over 1,000 humans and demons, I think, with it or something like that. And that gave it power to like throw these like hatred balls or whatever. There's like literal energy ball of just pure demonic power, and just would like huck them out with the sword. Like it was just, I don't know. Like I just remember that guy in Inuyasha who wields the Banryu. He's a pretty prominent villain, and he gave Inuyasha quite a bit of hard time, quite the hard time. And we had to deal with that guy for quite some time because he had just a godly weapon that was the Banryu halberd. I just love huge, unproportional weapons. Like just huge swords are just amazing. So, and I just love the name too. Like Banryu is just a sweet, like Barbaric Dragon. Like really, that's wild. Oh wow, I got used to saying dress break for the video, and now I meant to say voice break or something like that because my voice just broke. Whatever. But I'm all over the place with this video. So that's where Banryu comes in at number 4. Number 3, we have another entry from good old Inuyasha. That, of course, being the Tetsaiga and Tenseiga from Inuyasha. These are the two weapons used. One weapon, of course, used by Inuyasha, the main character, the Tetsaiga, and the other used by his brothers, Sesshomaru, the Tenseiga. Tetsaiga, literally translating to Iron Crushing Fang, that's a ridiculously cool name too, and it's just a sword that literally I can't remember. Why can't I remember the name of the attack now? I don't know. So there's the move that Inuyasha uses. I know it's like it's one of my favorite animes, and I can't remember the name of the move, but I'm just blanking on it right now. But he literally has the Tetsaiga. Literally, with this move, has the capability of killing 100 demons in one blow. You know, it's just ridiculous. Like, kind of the prowess and just kind of the backstory to this sword, like how powerful people knew it was. Like people were scared of this thing, and again, it's just a giant sword too. Like just the pure design of it, like turning it from a little rusty katana into the giant Tetsaiga to just like cleave through hundreds of demons with like casual blows. The backlash wave, that's another like ultimate move that it has, where it literally takes, if somebody throws like a crazy amount of energy, like a demonic energy attack at Inuyasha, he can literally just use the backlash wave and just throw it right back at him, like even stronger. Like, it's just ridiculous. It is not okay. It's just an overpowered move that he can just like take. If someone's way stronger than him, they can just throw a move at him, and he can just throw it right back at him stronger, and it'll probably just murk them in one shot. Oh, Wind Scar. Wind Scar is the original move that kills 100 demons. I figured it out whilst talking. So you got Wind Scar and you've got the Backlash Wave. Two really badass, really cool, overpowered moves that just slay demons like it's nothing. And then the Tenseiga being a really interesting weapon because it doesn't kill anybody, but it brings people back from the dead. That's Sesshomaru's sword. And I believe that translates to... I had it pulled up here to look at while that loads. But it's a really cool sword, and the fact that its main purpose is not to injure anybody, but to actually bring back people from the dead is a really, really cool concept. I think if you were to have both swords, you'd be just godly. You could revive all of your allies with the Tenseiga, and then just kill all of your enemies with the Tetsaiga. It's just ridiculous. Oh, it translates to Heavenly Rebirth Fang, which is, again, just a really cool name. I just love the names for these things. Like, the direct translations are just really cool. And again, just having a sword that's able to actually bring back life instead of taking it is a really cool concept. So I put Tetsaiga and Tenseiga on the same number as number 3. So now that we've got that taken care of, we can go to good old number 2. And we've got another entry from Berserk. Again, I don't really watch it, but I know some things from it. And we're talking about the Berserker armor that Guts eventually acquires. This armor is ridiculous. First of all, when you wear it, it literally makes you more angry and more of a, like, just malicious kind of being. It just makes you more aggressive. It literally just, when you put it on, you just become a more aggressive, bloodthirsty person to make you more crazy in the heat of battle. It's just crazy. It gives you all these, like, you know, strength and speed boosts, things like that. The fact that it'll literally hold your body together. Like, this armor is just meant to keep you going. Like, you can break bones and the armor will use barbs to pierce through your skin and to, like, force your bones and skin and, like, muscle to stay together for the duration of that fight until you take off the armor. Using this armor could literally kill you because it keeps prodding you and poking you with barbs, trying to hold your broken body together if you get, like, injured. The armor itself will heal itself. Like, it won't heal you, but the armor itself will heal and mend its wounds if it is hit with a heavy attack. And that's just crazy. Like, I don't know, just the fact that it can do that kind of stuff. Like, it'll literally make you keep fighting until you have, like, until the very single last drop of blood leaves your body. You're gonna keep fighting with this. Like, it's just ridiculous how much of a bloodthirsty killer you can become just by putting this armor on. And it'll literally keep you fighting to the bitter end. It'll hold your body together if it must. And I don't know, and it just looks really cool too. Like, I love the look of the armor as well. It's just terrifying to look at, and you should be terrified of it because the person inside has probably lost their mind, and they're just gonna go on a rampage, and you can't stop them. You can break their bones, do whatever. The armor will probably kill the user of the armor before anybody else can pierce it and kill the guy themselves. Like, Guts would probably be killed by the armor first before he'd be killed by some other demon. Like, it's just ridiculous. I was reading up on it, and it's just ridiculous what this armor does to you, and it's just crazy. Especially just like the fact that it holds you together. It's just terrifying, but really, really cool. So at number 1, I'm kind of cheating because I feel like this is the same thing as one of my other lists, one of my other entries. We have the boy Issei coming in one more time from High School DxD with the Scale Mail. Now, this is, again, a part of the sacred gear that he uses. His gauntlet turns into this armor that he wears, but I'm going to count it as something separate because this is by far one of my favorite, like, suits of armor in any kind of media, especially anime. That's why it's on my number 1 for this weapons and armor list, because I just love the way it looks. It's just super cool looking. Again, red dragons are just my thing. It's just such a cool thing. And to see that kind of displayed through armor on Issei is just ridiculous. It gives him so much power, and you still got the boosting thing going on. Like, you still, like, hear the dragon's voice echoing boost as you're just, like, beating the ever-living hell out of somebody in this armor. It's just crazy. Issei can sprout wings and fly with it. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, it's pretty ridiculous what you can do in this armor, and it does give him quite the boost. And when I first saw him use it against Riser to get back Riez, I just lost my mind. I was like, that is the coolest thing ever. And he, of course, uses it later on in the show. He uses it at times where he kind of loses his mind. Like Issei goes into like a rage kind of boost thing and kind of pulls the armor out. And I think rage moments for anime characters are the coolest thing ever. Is when a main protagonist goes into like a blood rage because something wrong happened. And Issei does that very thing because of something that happens and just pulls out this armor and just starts whipping just people just left and right. It's just ridiculous. Like, there's no real super crazy importance to it, I guess. Like, it's not the strongest armor you'll ever find in anime. Like, it probably has weaknesses compared to a lot of some of the other lists that I put down, like even the Berserker armor, but it's just a personal favorite of mine because I just love the way it looks. I love the design. Design and colors are a big thing for me. I just love the way this armor looks. And it was just a super crazy shock to see Issei kind of get this kind of power out of nowhere to kind of pull through and save the day. So I am gonna put the Red Dragon Scale Mail because it's just super cool to look at. It comes in clutch so many times, and it just hypes me up every time I see it. So my voice is dying, as you can tell, because my voice has broke a couple times. So we're gonna end the video here. That's my number 1. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to this point in the video, if you made it to the end, I really appreciate that. And yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this top 10 list. If you want more top 10 lists in general, if you want more content like this, please like the video. Like I said before, comment. Let me know. I like to hear from you guys. Let me know your lists or things that you agree with or disagree with. I love, if you're even disagreeing with me, I don't care. I just love to hear from you guys. So honestly, give me your thoughts about what you thought of the video, what you would have for certain, what your top 10 might be. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, if you do enjoy this kind of stuff, look forward to more, because I do have other top 10 lists planned out to do. And I really do enjoy making these videos, so I hope you guys do as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, as always. Remember to stay positive, enjoy life, because you only get one shot at it. It's Nova King from the Nova Kingdom, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.